we're not doing a tour of a big van today. We're doing it of a little guy. Not this little guy. He's actually taller than me. We're doing it of this van right here. We're gonna check him out. This is Christian. You have a name for your van?
Lauren.
Lauren?
Yep, Lauren.
Lauren the van. I didn't even know that until literally just now. We're gonna check it out. He's got storage up top. He is, how old are you?
21.
21, and he's living full-time out of this little guy right here in Southern California. Let's check him out right now. What's up, buddy?
Man, come take a peek inside.
Yeah, man. Dude, this is, first of all, tell me what van you have.
This is a 1998 Ford Econoline. It's the E250, so it's the V8. And it was a government-owned vehicle prior, so it was serviced completely, very well taken care of, and had really low miles. So it was a score for sure.
Did you have to do anything mechanically to it because it was a 98?
Mechanically, I have done absolutely nothing to it besides regular maintenance. Haven't had any problems with it yet. Got it completely checked out after I purchased it, and everything was looking tip-top shape.
Awesome. Wait a minute. Just some quick math I just did.
Yeah.
This is the 98 vehicle.
Yep.
You're 21.
Yes, sir.
When were you born?
98.
Oh,
I told myself I did not want to get a van older than I was, and luckily I found a good deal one the same age as me. So.
Well, yeah, that's actually, wow. Oh my God. So you and your van are the same age.
Me and Lauren have been on this planet at the same amount of time. Yep. Same rotations around the sun.
Yeah, man, this is really, really cool. And you said it was low mileage, so it worked out really well.
It was, about 65, 70,000 miles when I got it.
Cool.
Yep.
You know, why don't, even before we go in, let's, why don't you tell me what's going on outside? You got this big old sports rack?
Yep. Outside, I have a sport rack cargo box I use for storing basically my winter clothes. I have a snowboard up there, my jack, toolbox, cooler, just a bunch of extra stuff that I don't need to access as often. I just store all up there.
Nice.
I have the max fan, vent fan right in the middle there.
Yeah, you do.
And two Goal Zero 100-watt solar panels that connect to the Goal Zero battery inside.
Nice. Well, let's move on inside and see what we got here. All right, so this is like super minimalist. You didn't even clean because I know you're just an OCD kind of guy.
I'm extremely OCD. It's always this clean. I did not clean for the video.
Awesome. Do you want to get on in and you can kind of show me around? Dude, this is sweet. All right, you can't stand in here, obviously.
Can't stand with the height of the bed. You can't really sit very much. So I do most of my sitting over here on the swivel seat. Yeah, it's a Sportsmobile swivel seat. So
oh, it is.
Sportsmobile is one of the companies that got me into van life, and I've always dreamed of owning a Sportsmobile. So this is my little piece of a Sportsmobile right here. So,
so you got your refrigerator right here. This is super minimalist.
Yeah. So there's two 100-watt solar panels connected to this Goal Zero battery. It wasn't the cheapest route to do, but I'm very limited in knowledge on electrical stuff. So this was just an easy plug and play. All I had to do is bring the solar panel cable down and one plug right there, and it's charging. Right now,
do you know the size of it?
The Yeti 1000.
Yeti 1000.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So. Damn. Oh, I see it right there.
Yep.
The Yeti. It's a Yeti 1000. And oddly enough, where like that is sold,
yes,
you now have a job there.
Yes. Most of the things in here that I purchased, I bought from my current job before I worked there, so I got 0 discounts on anything. But
after the fact.
Yeah.
And did you tell them all that?
Yeah, I told my manager when I got hired there. My manager wanted to see my van and stuff. I work at REI, so I got my REI bag, and basically everything here is from REI. So.
And obviously, so you, oh my goodness. You just told me this yesterday too, that REI, they have showers for employees there?
Yeah, the location I work at does have a shower that employees can use, so it works out pretty good. I got a pretty sweet gig going on right now, can't complain.
And the reason I bring that up is because you don't have a shower in the small space.
Yeah, it's a very, storage was very small, so I had to utilize every little bit of it. Didn't have room for a shower, but I do have a gym membership I shower at, and then, yeah, my job has a shower as well.
Well, you have a rock climbing membership,
yes,
right?
Yeah,
that's a lot of
Mesa Rim, Mare Mesa.
Yeah, a lot of people have a lot of people in this situation or in the van life community have a rock climbing membership.
Yeah, a lot of the friends I've made through the rock climbing gym are also van lifers, so it's pretty cool.
Cool. This is your kitchen setup.
Yep, we got the Dometic fridge here.
I'm gonna get on in.
Yeah, of course.
This is so cool.
I think it's the CFX 28. I can't remember exactly which model it is, but it's a top mount fridge, and just basically got beer and fruit and Cliff Bars right now. And then just a little dish on top. It's Velcroed on, but this is where I put like my keys and wallet and stuff at the end of the day.
Nice.
Utensils up here, straws.
Man, you are super like just efficient with everything. I mean, how long you been in the van?
6 months now. Yeah.
6 months, and you work at REI full time.
Work at REI full time.
And it's just do you park in their lot?
I can't. There's a Walmart that's right next to, so
okay.
it would be an ideal spot, but the Walmart closes at midnight, and they have security that goes through, so I don't park at the lot.
You stealth park.
Stealth park.
Yeah,
yes,
there you
sir.
go. Now I'm gonna move on up here.
So yeah,
you have your Coleman.
Stove, and it's got a little butane I keep down here, the propane.
Oh, there you go, a little 1-pounder, yeah.
Side, yeah. I got extra ones up top in the cargo box.
And you actually have, in this small space, you have a freshwater tank and a gray water tank.
Yes, sir. We got 5-gallon freshwater tank and a little smaller 4-gallon gray water tank there.
And super efficient. You can just bring it into a store then.
Yep.
Or
I guess fill it up at a grocery store. Right out front, they have the big water jug spouts.
Have you had an issue using a toilet? Because you don't have one in here.
It definitely is something you have to get used to, but after living here in the van for 6 months, it becomes part of your daily routine. When you're out running errands, going out to eat, you kind of just ask yourself a little more often, do I need to use the restroom now because I'm not going to be able to later?
Yeah.
If it's a late night emergency, hit the gas station or something, do what you gotta do.
You do what you gotta do, man.
Exactly.
By the way, I just want to point out he is a climber, so he's got his handles are...
Some jugs.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, that's what those holds are.
I'm not a climber. I just think it's super cool. That's really just like a nifty idea.
Yeah.
It's like
I got that idea from Alex Honnold. He's a climber who also does van life.
Yep.
And, I can't remember what he had for his handles, but it was some piece of climbing gear, and then the first thing that came to my mind was some climbing holds would be a good idea. So,
that's a really cool idea.
He has like carabiners or something for his handles, I think.
Obviously, people in the van life community are big fans of Alex. All right, I'm gonna show your bed now.
Perfect.
You are, how tall are you said?
I'm 5'9". I sleep on my side, so I'm usually kind of like curled up anyway, so I don't usually stretch out, but if I do need to stretch out, I can going diagonally.
All right.
It's a full-size bed. Lengthwise, it was about 2 inches too long.
Okay.
But since it's memory foam, it really kind of just compressed in there.
Yeah.
So it worked out perfectly.
And then you have it slightly risen or raised, I guess.
Yes.
Is there stuff underneath?
Under here is gonna be like all my clothes and storage divided into duffel bags. So we have like pants and shorts, and these are all my t-shirts, toiletries in one duffel, and then underwear, socks in the last duffel.
And I noticed you have like no drawers in here.
Yeah.
There's no sliders.
Nope.
Nothing opens when you're moving.
Yeah, it's just a lot easier. I mean, it definitely could have added sliders and drawers and stuff, but doing it with just baskets and duffel bags made it so much more simple. Saved a lot of time and money, which is...
Other than REI, what the heck do you do? Because you're an adventure guru.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I'm also a adventure/travel photographer. So
that is awesome.
Yes, sir.
And you shoot with one of my favorite cameras, the Sony. So
Sony A7 III.
Yeah.
Yes,
so you obviously take some good shots. I'll kind of throw some of your images up there for you.
Yeah.
And you carry that with you, and you do that, all that good jazz. And one of the reasons why we use Sony, by the way, I shoot with a Sony, is because it's mirrorless and it's light.
Mirrorless full frame is the way to go.
Your airflow, I guess, is done through your fan.
Yeah, so I don't have heating or AC, so this max fan is what keeps me cool or warm. It's also all been hooked up to the same Goal Zero battery. It's got like 10 different speed settings, and it works perfect for me, especially living in Southern California. Weather's never that bad, so I've never been needing the heater too much, or heater cold too much.
And we haven't had, this whole time, we haven't had lights on, but you do have lights.
Yeah, I do have some LED strip lighting that goes around. Just
Nifty.
Adhesive strip that goes underneath all the wood ceiling there. And the ceilings were... When I built the van, I really liked the look of the white walls and the dark floors and ceiling.
Yeah,
but,
something similar I know of.
Yeah. Not knowing anything about carpentry or wood, I did not know that walnut was one of the most expensive woods there is.
Yeah, is this walnut?
No.
This is just a stained,
regular plywood, and then it's just stained. The cutting board is actually from IKEA, so the center is just particle board. It's not like a solid butcher block. And I just cut that to size, cut a hole for the sink. The sink's just going to be a cheap bar sink off Amazon. And
so you did this, like, you did not spend a lot.
No, not at all. The majority of the cost went into the fridge and the battery and the solar panels, the wood, the stove, and everything like that was super, super inexpensive.
Do you want to share pricing?
Yeah, so the entire van build and the van itself was all under $20,000, so it's definitely super doable for anyone out there who's thinking that they couldn't afford to do a full van build, or they're not making the money to do that. It's really something that's doable for anyone, honestly.
So the van was X amount of dollars, and then your build was X amount of dollars, but all said and done was under 20.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy. Yeah. Did you say how many miles were on it?
It was 65 or 70,000 miles, something like that.
And you're up around 80 now, right?
Yeah, I'm at 110.
Are you really? Good for you.
Yeah, in the past 6 months, I've gone a lot of places for sure.
Good for you,
yeah.
And it shows, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what we're doing this lifestyle for.
Definitely.
Look at you with your little lantern too.
Also, Goal Zero. If you can't tell, I'm a big fan of Goal Zero.
Yeah, well, you also work at REI.
That's
what can
true.
you say? Hey, wait a minute. You're a photographer, and I just noticed right over your shoulder that there's a camera, like a little disposable camera.
You never know when you're gonna get the shot. And
well, that's what we have camera phones for.
Hey, the best camera is the one you have on you. So if you, whether it be a disposable camera, an iPhone, DSLR, it's the best camera is the one you have on you. So I always keep that one there.
And that's while you're driving?
Yep, just in case you never know what you're gonna catch.
All right. And you have a GoPro too, I think, right?
I do have a GoPro. It's gonna be in the back. We can go check that out.
Yeah, let's go check out the back.
Well.
Yeah, let's go. Even your little draw thing right here.
This is on my film, so I take film photography as well, and I keep all my film in there in the binder, and then just sketch pad, journal, notebook.
What are the rocks?
Funny story, actually.
Okay, here
I
we
was
go.
in Joshua Tree about a month ago, and I was hiking this very tall mountain, and when I got to the top, there was a rock up there, and someone had written on it their address, and it said to email them. So I emailed the email address, and they were kind of just like doing that as a way to meet new people and ask about their stories, and I thought that was a really good idea. So living in Southern California, the beaches are covered in these rocks, so I grabbed a few smooth ones, and I decided to do the same thing. So whenever I go travel places now, I put a rock with my email address, and
you
meet a lot of really cool people.
People have reached out to you.
Yeah. And tell their stories about, what were you doing in X place, and what were you doing, who are you with, did you have fun, and you can kind of make a lot of cool friends that way, actually.
That's really awesome, man. What's in the back here? You got a little ladder, obviously, to climb up.
They're just a super cheap ladder.
Bolted right to the back.
Yeah, it's just 4 screws, and it actually hooks up a little bit on the top, so that was really easy to install, and allows me to get to my cargo box easily.
Nice.
A lot of extra stuff up there.
And then you just have all your like extra storage back here, and this is stuff that you don't need every day?
Yeah, so this is things I don't need to access as much. Everything that I need on a daily basis is going to be on the front half, and then things back here are things I don't need as often. So I have like a waterproof little Tupperware that just has a bunch of shoes in it, my hiking shoes, trail runners, casual shoes are all in there. I have a camera bag here that has a lot of my extra lenses tucked away back there, so I'll have a lot of my lenses and cleaning equipment, things like that.
Super nifty, man.
Another duffel bag, REI, of course. This is gonna be all like my jackets, sweatshirts.
Did you get anything after the fact, after you working there?
That headlamp you see over there, I got after the fact.
Oh my goodness. That one headlamp? All your duffel bags, everything was bought at REI beforehand. Oh man.
Super simple. Just a couple of extra backpacks. It's like my hiking bag, so I put my camera in there if I'm going on a longer sort of hike. GoPro and GoPro stuff all tucked away back here as well.
Jeez, look at you, man.
So that's all my
You've got everything.
Stuff. Yeah.
You've got everything.
Everything I own just perfectly fit in here. Out of pure luck.
Out of pure luck. And then obviously in your container as well, up top.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of stuff up there. I fit my entire snowboard up there. Toolbox, like I think I might have already mentioned. It's got a lot of extra stuff in there. And the roof rack's just super generic. It was a universal roof rack for any van with gutters, with rain gutters. So that was only a couple $100 for all 4 of them.
I've seen those, and like it's like a nice way, and you have your solar panels attached to it as well, which is like really smart.
I had to MacGyver the solar panels on a little bit, had to drill a couple of holes, but it went on fine. Would have loved to have one of the giant cage roof racks that you can walk on, and but financially this was the much better route.
Hey, you did all this for under 20 grand. Did they come with those tires?
Oh no, those tires. That's I guess the one exterior thing I've done aftermarket is the wheels and tires were both bought aftermarket. Just some good all-terrain tires. It's not 4-wheel drive. I've taken it through trails I never thought I'd be able to go through, honestly, especially being 1998. I've gone through places that I thought the shocks were going to blow out, but it's gotten me a lot of cool places.
Super interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
And do you recommend having just that plug-and-play Yeti, the Yeti?
It's definitely more expensive, but if you're not trying to go through all the work of learning how to solder and shrink wrap and do any sort of electrical work, it does everything for you. The inverter's built in.
I think for like a van of this size, I think those are absolutely perfect.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't need to get the 1000. They have a bunch of sizes that are bigger, smaller. You can do the lead acid batteries they have and the lithium.
Okay.
So they have a lot of options, and they're a little bit more affordable than that one.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of companies. You don't have to go with the Yeti, but there's like But you work at REI, so we'll plug them a little bit.
Window covers are just going to be just Reflectix with some white fabric on the inside to stay with the theme, and then some black fabric on the outside.
DIY? Did it yourself?
Yep.
Yeah.
My mom. Shout out my mom for sewing.
Oh, look at you,
yeah,
man.
Mom sewed me these.
And then your dad actually helped you with the build, too,
yeah,
right?
My dad knows a lot more about carpentry and electrical than I do, so he was kind of the conductor of the whole build. Gave me a lot of pointers and helped me out a lot, making it become what it is now.
And I don't know if you said how long it took. Did you? But...
It took about 6 months. Keep in mind, I was working at the time about 45 hours a week, 50 hours a week. So every hour that I was not at work, I was working on this van, and it took me about 6 months total from start to finish.
And you even said earlier, like your friends have tried to do it after you, and they all threw in the towel.
Yeah, I think a lot of them really underestimate the amount of time that goes into doing one of these builds. So if you are considering doing one yourself, don't be discouraged if it's not done in the time frame you're looking at. I would always add a couple months to whatever time frame you have set. It's
absolutely.
take a couple months more.
Especially if you're working full time, like you said.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
we talked about this earlier. The insulation, you thought, or not we, but like other people thought it was going to take a day.
Yeah.
It takes like 4 days.
Yeah.
Maybe a week.
With the spray foam alone, you have to wait for that to dry, trim that.
Yeah.
This one in particular, the floor is going to be foam board and Reflectix. The ceilings are also foam board Reflectix, and the walls are foam board Reflectix and fiberglass.
Holy crap!
So it's pretty well insulated.
You went pretty well up there. Yeah.
Coldest spot I've been with it was about 24 degrees, and keep in mind I have no heater in here at all.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I had a sleeping bag, so I just threw that in my bed, and it stayed pretty warm. I turned the car heater on for about 30 minutes before bed, shut it off, and it was nice and toasty all night. So
you know, you could always get one of those portable Mr. Buddies.
Yeah, Mr. Buddies. Exactly. Yeah, I have one at my parents' house. So yeah.
Okay.
That's something.
The worst case scenario.
Yeah,
if you ever
I throw in when I go on like any sort of snowboard trip or anywhere in the backcountry, cold weather. That's usually what I take.
Nice, man. Well, dude, Christian, again, how can they find you? What's the best way?
Instagram's gonna be christian.henkel.photo. You can follow me there and check out all the adventures that me and Lauren are about to go on.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited to see it. I ran into you randomly. I literally was like, I saw this dude just working on his little swivel seat right there. And I was like, yo, man, I got to check this out. And like, I got into it. I was like, there's no way you're this clean. And he's like, yes, I am.
Always this clean.
Always this clean. Oh, I'm OCD. I'm like, cool, man. Well, we're going to get a tour of you. And he's like, hell yeah, dude. I'm super excited, man. Keep up the good work with the photography.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much for this. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. See you on the road.
You.